working on the almost free motorhome Trike. We're going to make the seat for it right now. I think I'm just going to make an episode for this because it's maybe interesting, and it'll make it short. I'm trying not to make these so long. So let's take a look. This is the Trike, and I thought about just trying to use some office chairs or something like that, but I already have this cushion, which is that I actually made a whole set of outdoor furniture cushions that were custom made to my house I had, and so I just gave this cushion. I gave the outdoor set to my son, and he moved, and he ended up just not needing it, and so I ended up with this cushion, which is just one cushion, but it's made out of outdoor material, so that's perfect, unlike an office chair. So basically I'm making the bottom, which I already did, and I made it out of this thin foam and fiberglassed it, so it's really strong, but it weighs almost nothing. And then I'm going to do the back piece that I already cut out here, and I'm going to do the same treatment. Basically, you need to peel off the aluminum sheeting, and then you get a bare piece. I already started on the back. You get a bare piece of foam, and then fiberglass. Just one layer of fiberglass over it is fine. And then basically I'm going to cut this up and use it to cover. I'll use the front part, put a cushion in it. It's already got a cushion in it for the back, and then you just wrap it around and staple it usually, but you can't really staple into foam, so even with a layer of fiberglass, the staple's not going to hold. It's really meant for wood, so I'll probably glue it, probably epoxy it. Just put a little catalyst in it, and this really can't get much simpler for a fiberglass job of just doing a flat piece like this. So basically just use a chip brush, cheap brushes. You can buy a whole pack of them for like $5-10 bucks, I don't know, 36 of them. I really should be using a 2-inch one, but I've noticed that Harbor Freight runs out of 2-inch brushes. They're hard to find at Harbor Freight. Kind of like the thin cutoff wheels. Every time I go in there, I see if I can get some more thin cutoff wheels, and they're always out of stock. They're in stock for a very short time. Everyone always buys them. So they buy the 2-inch chip brushes. So I got a bunch of 1-inch, and that's what I'm using today. But you can see how much slower it is to use. In fact, maybe I'll just go get a 2-inch. 2 inches. So I do have a pack of them. But as I said, they're a little harder to come by. You can buy individual ones at Home Depot for 50 cents or something, but you can buy a whole pack of 36 for $5 or something. So they end up costing 25 cents each or something. So I just use them and throw them away. Although I don't like doing that. It just seems wasteful, but to clean them, you need acetone, and the cost of acetone is probably worse, well, certainly more than the cost of the brush, but it might be way more harmful to the environment to be using up acetone than just throwing the plastic. But they're mostly wood. But yeah, I did a lot of boat building and fiberglass work, and car bodies, and you end up creating a lot of waste, and I really don't like that. Especially if you do. So yeah, first you just brush it on one layer, and then in this case I'm just going to pour it all on. And then just brush another layer on top. Soak into the glass. And you can see once it can't see white anymore, it's got the fiberglass. It's got the resin in it. Uh-oh. I think I need more. Piled it in there. Poured too much in one spot. The thing is with this mat, I'm gonna have to mix up some more. I think I screwed up there. I can work it. It doesn't like this. Really a structural problem, you know. And the corners, I don't need to do the corners because we're going to round off the corners. So I don't really need to worry about getting those. But I do need to get the edges. The fiberglass mat, which is what this stuff is, just random. No, you can't see it. Which is just randomly oriented fibers. It's like, you know, OSB or oriented strand board. It's kind of the same idea. They just take the fiberglass filaments and just lay them in random order. But they're held together with some glue that when you put fiberglass on it, or acetone either, it melts the glue, so they don't hold together anymore. So that's why when you brush it, it'll just come apart. So you can't. It's not like regular cloth, you know, like that. I don't know if you can see that in the background, where it has a weave. This doesn't have a weave. It just has random fibers glued together, and they come unglued once you put fiberglass on them. That allows it to conform to very complex shapes, which isn't really needed in this case, right? Oh, I got a little more in here. That's good. But it's really cheap because it's easy to make, right? And you don't need a weaving machine. And this is actually pretty thin mat. It comes in different size of fibers, thicknesses of fibers. This is the thin, cheap stuff. All right, so you can see we don't have any white. Well, I didn't need to mix up any more. All right, I'm going to clean this brush just because I mentioned I wasn't going to, because I'm going to waste this one. Actually, I gotta put it in this cup. Reuse this cup. I usually, you let it dry in the cup, and then you can just kind of peel it out, or it doesn't really matter. You just pour in a new batch on top of the old batch. It doesn't really matter. But see, I gotta use that much acetone to clean this 30-cent brush. All right, so this is dry. I kind of marked the two places where it sits up against the vertical piece of steel. I rounded off the edges. I'm going to go cut these off. Alright, I'm afraid to touch the camera with my hands, but this is, the consistency. I found this stuff, Cabosil. It thickens up the resin, and that's thick because it's got actual strands from when I put it on last time. But, it's very runny, which is fine. Just take it on here. But then I'm going to mix in the Cabosil once it's all wetted up, and I'll show you. Been patient. I want it to dry right away. But that's what happens now. I just wasted all that, whatever was left. And you see this stuff, it's getting dry. It's awesome. It's already getting dry, holding the sticks in. So, there's this down here. Look at this. That's probably too much Cabosil. So now it's basically it's too much. It's too thick. It's not going to be paintable. I'm kind of screwed up there, but I'm going to just make it work. So I'm just using it like paste. And it provides a fillet. Alright, so it's actually the next day, and these are on pretty good. I don't think I could rip them off if I wanted to. So, I'm going to go put the material on we're going to be using, and so I'm going to start with the back. And you know, looks like we could just sort of cut out just inside the edges. All right, I found some rubber mat, and cut it to size-ish. That's enough. And then we're just gonna now got a staple gun. So yeah, so it just pulls right out. It doesn't really do anything. I mean, I guess it keeps it from going this way, but it doesn't pull it out, so I guess it holds it down. Yeah, stainless steel staples so they don't rust. Which is what you want in an outdoor. Yeah, I got these from my and this, I already got the padding, frankly. So I just need to get this on here. That little flip actually worked pretty good for us here. Retirement age, so my body thinks it's retired too. It doesn't have to heal anymore. Put that at the bottom, that at the top. Alright, let's go see what it looks like on the Trike. Alright, there we go. Not bad. Not great either, but that's what we're doing. I'm a jack of all trades. I'm not a master of this, of upholstery. I'm a jack of upholstery. So, but yeah, it's gonna work. And I think I'm gonna, well, this needs something to keep it from twisting like that. There needs to be some supports. I gotta weld those on. Of course, the welder's over there. I got this trailer in the middle, so I'm gonna have to, and I got this pile of wood in the way to move the trailer out of the way, so I'm not gonna do it right now. But then I'm gonna use Velcro. We'll just Velcro these on. We'll put some Velcro on here and there in the uprights, and then we'll just stick them on. All right, so I think I'm gonna call that good for this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.